Shalom, shalom, family. As we proceed, shalom, shalom, family. As we proceed, we shall be starting very, very soon. Just waiting on more people to jump in the room so we can absolutely get it in. Hoping everybody had a great week, great Sabbath. Hope y'all had a dope Memorial Day. For those of you who went out there and hit the town and barbecued and enjoyed all that good stuff. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. All right. With that being said, we doing a lot. We doing a whole lot on this end, family. We doing a whole lot on this end. A whole lot on this end. All right. We doing a whole lot on this end. All right. Peace and love to the family. Peace and love to the family, to everybody in the room. Peace and love to the family and to everybody in the room. I caught a live yesterday. Last night? Caught a live. That's the live that you guys are looking at on the screen behind me. If anybody caught this live with Brother J.𝑓𝅘𝓐𝑪 debating vocab Malone and a guy by the name of Adam Apologetics on Son of the TV, type of one in the room if you guys caught that live. Type of one in the room if you guys caught that live. If you caught that live yesterday on Son of the TV, type of one in the room. This is it right here. This is it right here. All right. This is it right here. Now, I heard some very interesting things from both sides. And I got a couple of messages from not just, ironically, people in the Israelite community, but I got a couple of messages from people in the Kemetic community. And they was like, hey, Brother Zion, man, you got to deal with this guy, man, J.𝑓𝅘𝓐𝑪. And I said, why? That's my brother. Why y'all want me to bother J.𝑓𝅘𝓐𝑪 for? We cool now. We ain't got no issue no more. We cool. Me and J.𝑓𝅘𝓐𝑪 don't agree on a lot of things, but that's my brother. You know, I had some time to go to Las Vegas, spent some time with his family per se, him and his wife. We both did a lecture in Las Vegas. My son accompanied me, and we had a great time. It was an opportunity to see a different side of him. It was an opportunity for him to see a different side of me. So I don't have any personal issues with the brother, but that doesn't prevent us nor stop us from critiquing one another. And he has said the same thing since coming back from the trip, that we found ourselves, a little bit more amicable, because we've seen each other in a different environment. But nonetheless, that doesn't prevent nor stop nor halt us from critiquing one another when need be. Having said that, Brother J.𝑎ℎ𝅘𝓐𝑪 has a habit. Man, of using this term Tamhu. Brother J.𝑎ℎ𝅘𝓐𝑪 has an unfortunate habit of referring to Europeans as the Tamhu. Anybody know what I'm referring to? Anybody ever heard Brother J.𝑎ℎ𝅘𝓐𝑪 in the conscious community continually refer to Europeans as the Tamhu? Type of one in the chat room if that's accurate. Type of one in the chat room if that is accurate. That J.𝑎ℎ𝅘𝓐𝑪 describes the European as the Tamahu. I just want to check the temperature real quick. Yeah, and I know he's been saying that means that created white people, or white people were created. Tamhu means the European and Tamhu means white people. Guys, this is further evidence that if we don't learn the culture of others, then they could tell you whatever they want, whether it be true or not. If we don't learn the language of others, they can tell you whatever they want, whether it be true, accurate, or not. So this is a critique, obviously, that I'm about to present to Brother J.𝑎ℎ𝅘𝓐𝑪. He's critiqued me several times. I think in an open forum on video. So I think I have the liberty to return the favor when I get opportunity, time, and space to do so. Having said that, man, I'm gonna go full speed ahead as soon as we can get some people thumbing up the video. So let's get this video sharing, family. Shout out to my brother 𝍘𝅓𓎛𝓱. Shout out to Ishmael. Shout out to Dania. Asim, I see you. R.W. Smith, I see you. Lost Nav, I see you. Let me scroll up, see who I'm missing. Assalam, I see you. Always, I see you, my brother. Tanisha Smith, I see you. Augustus Kane, I see you. Yirmiyahu Yehuda, More Yirmiyahu, I see you, More. I see you. So yeah, this is gonna be a polite little love tap for the brother. I'm gonna give him. I'm not going to hit Jabari too hard. Not going to hit Jabari too hard. Not going to hit Jabari too hard. But I'm gonna definitely correct some things. But definitely correct some things. The word Tamhu is an Egyptian word, an Egyptian phrase used to denote a particular group of people. It is not calling these people European or white, and I will prove it. It is not referring to these people as European or white, and I will prove it. To substantiate my views, you guys can check out the channels of Wujawu, which is 𝍘𝅓𓎛𓅱𓌙𓀀𓁐𝓪. You can type in the term Tamhu and the term Jabari online, and it'll lead you down the line of finding some people in the Afrocentric community. His own brothers have critiqued him. Yeah. Asar Imhotep called him out by name and said Jabari is incorrect when he calls the European the Tamhu. He said, that's not 𝍘𝅓𓎛𝓁𝓱. So, you know, hopefully Jabari is going to step his game up with an Israelite, knowing more 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 than he does. Hopefully I'm going to inspire my brother Jabari to learn the language he should have been studying the last 30 years. Hopefully I'm going to inspire that brother. And that's the point of knowledge on a whole, right? Certainly he says that the point of his critique is to empower others. So let's walk down that line, hoping that brother Jabari would kind of correct some of these errors. So I'm going to address this situation head on, but I definitely want everybody to thumb up the live, family, thumb up the video and share the live. Also, to those just coming in, show your love, support. You could donate to the platform. We have a Hebrew class that's about to start up again for adults as well as children. For adults as well as children. Whoever Lost Nav is, your question was, Zion knows more 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 than Jabari? Yes, my brother. I'm not sure where you've been. I'm not sure where you've been in the community, but yes. Jabari doesn't read 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 like that, and he's very open in letting people know that he doesn't know 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 like that. His dear and beloved wife, she knows 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 from what I understand, from what I'm hearing, very well. But no, Jabari does not do 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿. So I'm not sure why you find that surprising that I know more 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 than Jabari, especially when the grandmaster teachers in the Kemetic tradition have come out to co-sign my level and knowledge in the 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿, my high level and knowledge in 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿. So I'm not sure why that surprises you. Maybe because you're not watching enough of my programs or enough of 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 when 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝓿 goes into it. But shout out to you. I appreciate that comment either way. Shout out to you. I appreciate your comment either way. So having said that, I'm hoping that this video is going to inspire brother Jabari to learn the language he should have been learning the last 30 years. I'm going to ask everybody to thumb up the video and share it live. As I was saying, we have a Hebrew class that's about to start back up. We got a Hebrew class that's about to start back up. I want to say next week, as early as next week, our children's class will be revived. We're trying to make our children's class. You could donate via Cash App, my brother. You could donate via Cash App. My Cash App is on the screen. So if you look at the screen, you can see that my Cash App is on the screen. Thank you very much. Shout out to you. Shout out to my brother Assalam Mahdi. I got you, my brother. You always show love. I've watched you defend me in public and in private, and I want to let you know that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me, because when I call people my brother, that's how I move and that's how I behave as well. So shout out to you, my brother. Having said that, to everyone asking how do you donate, you can literally look at the bottom of the screen. It says it right there. You can go to my Cash App Zion Lexx, or you can go to my PayPal, zionlex@gmail.com. We also have a Patreon setup, right, where you can help us and our platform by donating at a monthly level, be it $5, $25, or $50. And with each level, you get a different or higher degree of access to information that we share, right? At our $50 a month, you get the highest access, right? You get private phone calls with me, one-on-one sessions. You get unlimited access to in-class videos that we have, as well as reading material that I share on there for free, etc., etc. I'm also asking that the community try to support our Hebrew class for children as much as possible by making donations to this platform as much as possible. We're trying to make it that this Hebrew course is free for kids. Let's make that happen, family. We're trying to make it that this Hebrew course is free for children, but we cannot make that happen because we know time is valuable, time is money. So things have to be paid for. So we're asking that the community support this endeavor that we're doing by setting up Hebrew classes for children. We did it last year, it was successful, and I graduated several children. You can go on my YouTube channel and you can see the graduation. We actually graduated them live on YouTube. So you could go right on my YouTube channel and see that the children's class graduated. You could see them receive their certificates. And it was a powerful thing, man. It was so dope to call up the adults, to call up the children. We had adults that received certificates for passing Biblical Hebrew 101. And we had adults that also got valedictorian certificates to show their excellence in the class. And I want to let you know, we had a bunch of kids, man, that was so dope that a couple of them walked away with a valedictorian certificate as well, on top of their regular certificate. So again, we're asking, again, as we approach summer, that the community continually support this platform, because we're trying to make it that the children's class is absolutely free. We don't want our children to have to pay. We don't want our parents, who are more than likely already paying for our Hebrew courses, we don't want them dishing out an additional bill, as it were, for their children. We're trying to make it free. So we're asking that the community support the platform as much as they can in that endeavor. Having said that, I'm about to pull up my PowerPoint presentation. Let me see where we at with our likes. Don't forget, family, to thumb up the video and share the live. Don't forget, family, to thumb up the video and share the live. Shout out to Sonny. I see you in your donation. Thank you very much. Thumb up the video and share the live, family. Thumb up the video and share the live. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Let me see where we at real quick. All right. All right, good. We almost there. We almost there, family. Let's get those likes up, y'all. As soon as we get those likes up, I'm going to start this presentation. And I got to let y'all know, y'all should know I don't play no games. So you know this presentation about to be fire, right? Y'all should know by now I don't waste nobody's time. You're not going to never come on here and be like, damn, I was here for an hour and 2 hours. He ain't said nothing. You know, every time you come up here, it's straight fire. No exaggeration, no joke. It just is what it is. You know, every time you come to this channel is straight fire. So we ask that you support this platform as much as you possibly can. Thumb up the video and share the live, family, so we can get it in. Thumb up the video. Shout out to my brother, Aziel. I see you, my brother. I see you. Shout out to you, my brother. All right. All right. I'm going to begin my video presentation with a video excerpt from one of Jabari's brothers. The brother goes by the name Asar Imhotep. I want you to hear what brother Asar Imhotep has to say as it pertains to the word Tamhu. What Asar Imhotep has to say as it pertains to the term Tamhu. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Thumb up the video and share the live, family, because y'all know we about to get it in. Foot on next season. Shout out to you, Ishmael. I got your donation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. I just got your donation. Thank you very much. Shout out to you, R.W. Smith. Absolutely. Shout out to you. So here we go, y'all. Here we go. 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 Here we. Thank you, my brother Azia. Thank you very much, as always, my brother, for your contribution as well. Thank you. Here we go, y'all. About to share my live. Let's hear this. Uh-oh, got Chris Harris in the building. Chris said, let's hear this. Chris, if you know anything about metal lecture, brother, I'm sure you know Tamahu don't mean the European. I'm sure you know, brother Chris, that Tamahu don't mean European. But shout out to you, brother Chris Harris. I see you. I see you, man. I see you, brother. I see you. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Pools. And so this whole text is about, you know, the origin of the Fulani, or their basically their Nile Valley East African origin. And I think that y'all should get it. And so, you know, these are your Fulani, these are your Hebrews that stayed on the African side.
Wait, hold on. I know this is kind of unrelated, but did I just hear Asar Imhotep, right? Did I just hear Asar Imhotep, right? Asar Imhotep. Did I just hear him call the Fulanis a West African group? Did I just hear him say that they were Hebrews? I know that's a little off topic, but let me play that beautiful bean footage again. I told y'all this video was gonna be different, right? Uh-oh. Did I just hear? I could have swore, it could be me, y'all, but I could have swore I just heard the brother say that the Fulani group are Hebrews. In fact, if I forward it back a little bit, you're going to hear Asar Imhotep say something I've been saying for years, which is that the term Africa is rooted in the term Hebrew. So that when you call yourself African, you're still calling yourself Hebrew. That's on the same video that I'm showing right now. All right, that's on the same video I'm showing right now, but we got other business to deal with. I'm going to come back and deal with that in a couple moments.
Pools. And so this whole text is about, you know, the origin of the Fulani, or their basically their Nile Valley East African origin. And I think that y'all should get it. And so, you know, these are your Fulani, these are your Hebrews that stayed on the African side. And so they're going to be a lot darker in skin complexion, but they have a, you know, a unique type of phenotype. But there are other Fulanis who look.
If everybody just heard brother Asar Imhotep describe the Fulani of West Africa as being Hebrews, put some fire emojis in the room. If y'all just heard what I heard, if y'all just heard brother Asar Imhotep describe the Fulani group in West Africa as Hebrews, I want y'all to put some fire emojis in the room, because I heard that when Hebrews say that, we being pseudo. But we have people in the Kemetic community, such as Asar Imhotep, whose works are deeply respected by everyone in the Kemetic conscious community, yet he's allowed to say that the Fulani, a West African group, are Hebrews, and he's not pseudo when he says it. That's interesting. Matter of fact, let's let him say that again. Matter of fact, let's let him say it again before I get to my main point.
Pools. And so this whole text is about, you know, the origin of the Fulani, or their basically their Nile East African origin. To get it. And so, you know, these are your Fulani, these are your Hebrews that stayed on the African side. And so they're going to be a lot darker in skin complexion, but they have a unique type of phenotype. But there are other Fulanis who look more stereotypically Negroes, so to speak. But that's because they've been absorbed, because these folks are raider warrior clans. And so here's some more representations of them, coming out of Libya. And here's a 𝍘𝅓𓎛𝅚𝓛𝅱 woman, and even in the like this is one of the Libyan pharaohs that you see this mask here. Looks just like a regular Fulani brother. And so even in the depictions in ancient Egypt, this is a war dance from the Tamahu.
All right, guys, this particular part that he's saying right here, I'm gonna need y'all to really, really pay attention to this. All right, I'm gonna forward it, rewind it just a little bit. This last part that he's about to go into, I'm gonna really need you guys to really, really listen, because this is where he calls out 𝍘𝅓𓎛𝅚 by name. And he says, when 𝍘𝅓��𝅚 says that the word Tamhu means European or white, 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝅚 is wrong. Listen, guys, before I even demonstrate why 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝅚 is wrong, I want to first show you that people in his community who really, really do Medu Neter, and just so y'all know, if you don't know, Brother Asar Imhotep is regarded as one of the best people in the conscious community when it comes to Medu Neter. And he said on record that the term Tamahu does not mean European and does not mean white, and he called 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝅚 right out on that. I want y'all to hear
it. When our good brother 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝅚 starts speaking about the Tamahu being white folks, that is not the case.
Woo! Put some fire emojis in the room, y'all. Come on, come on. Come on, y'all. Did y'all just hear what Asar Imhotep just said? Come on, y'all. Talk to me, family. Did y'all just hear what Asar Imhotep just said? Did he not say, when our good brother 𝍘𝅓𝓛𝅚 says that the word Tamahu means European and white, that's wrong? Guys, light that chat room up. I almost slipped. Light that chat room up, y'all. Because when I do it, they're going to say I'm hating. So I had to first show you that somebody in his own community is on record saying it. Now, there's another person who called him out by the name of 𝍘𝅘𝅛𝅚. But 𝍘𝅘𝅚𝅛𝅚, he's an interesting personality. I want to say something about 𝍘𝅘𝅚. I think 𝍘𝅘𝅚 is a very intellectual person. I want to say that. I think 𝍘𝅘𝅚 is a very intellectual person. I want to even say deeply intellectual from what I gather, right? But I noticed that, like most people, he has a bias, right? So when he has an issue with Zion Lexx's work, he has no problem making a video, putting Zion Lexx's name on the title, and going ham on why he disagreed with me. But when it comes to people in the conscious community, he'll mention what they say is wrong without calling them out by name. But with Zion Lexx, for some reason, he always got to call my name. I find that interesting. However, shout out to brother 𝍘𝅘𝅛𝅚. And just so we know that I'm not a hater, 𝍘𝅘𝅚𝅚, I got your books on my bookshelf, brother. I'm probably not the person that you should be doing things like that with, because in my classes, I actually refer your books. Let me share my screen for a moment. I actually refer your books in my classes, brother 𝍘𝅘𝅛𝅚, right? This is your book. Has the Egyptian hieroglyphic writing system been deciphered? Is put out by 𝍘𝅅𝅛𝅚𝓛𝅱 Medu Neter, which is a composition of you, Asar Imhotep, and brother Sinjeti. I got your book, brother. I even tell people in the class to get your book. So I'm trying to figure out why you treat me like that. I don't know. People be so intimidated by me. I have no clue. You don't need to be intimidated by me. I am no threat to you whatsoever. I am your brother. I also have your book, 𝍘𝅘𝅛𝅚, entitled 𝍘𝅅 Medu Neter, Inscriptions of Divine Words, A Beginner's Introduction to Medu Neter. I buy your books, brother. I tell the people in my hieroglyphic classes that your book is one of the best books to learn beginner's hieroglyphs using. I'm not figuring out why people do this stuff. My sister said, it sounds like people capping off your name. That's a fact. That's a fact. Especially Brother Garfield. Brother Garfield will put a video up saying Zion Lexx versus Garfield, and y'all run to his channel expecting that me and him about to debate, and it's a whole 5-hour video of him talking about me, and I'm nowhere to be found. We call that where I'm from capping. We call that where I'm from, you straight capping. How you having a fight with somebody that's not in the building? How you in a whole fight with somebody that's not in the building? But anyway, let me let brother Asar Imhotep do what he do. Let me let brother Asar Imhotep does what he do, and then I'm gonna come and do what I do. All right? Then I'm gonna come and do what I do. All right? All right, here we go.
Stereotypically Negro, so to speak. But that's because they've been absorbed, because these folks are Raider warrior clans. And so here's some more representations of them, you know, coming out of Libya. And here's a 𝍘𝅓�𓅱𓌙𓀀𓁐𝁪 woman, you know, and even in the like this is one of the Libyan pharaohs that you see this mask here. Looks just like a regular Fulani brother. And so even in the depictions in ancient Egypt, this is a war dance from the Tamahu. So, you know, when our good brother Jabari starts speaking about the Tamahu being white folks, that is not the case. You know, these are Fulani who live in the Delta.
I hope everybody just heard Asar Imhotep live, loud, and clear. Jabari is in error. That is not the case. Tamhu does not mean white people. So shout out to brother Jabari. This is a love tap that I'm gonna give the brother real quick. You know, this is a love tap that I'm gonna give the brother real quick. No malice, nothing personal, but people are allowed to be critiqued. And surely I'm one of the most critiqued people in the community, especially by people like Jabari. So, you know, why not? Why not? So in the spirit of intellectual combat and warfare, here we go, y'all. I'm about to present my presentation. All right, y'all, here we go. So we know that brother Jabari continually refers to Europeans as the Tamhu. In fact, when he was speaking with 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪 Malone, right? In fact, when he was speaking with 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪 Malone, in this dialogue, right? In this dialogue right here, right? Everybody see me pointing? That's 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪 Malone, that's Sarnetta, that's Jabari, and that's a guy named Adam Coleman, right? This was just last night, I believe, or maybe the night before. Either way, Jabari continually referred to 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪 Malone, even though 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪 Malone is Mexican. That's interesting. He continually referred to 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪 Malone as a European, even though 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪 Malone would tell you straight up he's Mexican. I find that interesting. But anyway, Jabari was calling him European. He was calling him the Tamhu. And he kept saying to him, you know, I'm offended that you, 𝍘𝅀𝓐𝑪, as the Tamhu, are going to have, you know, take issue with African spirituality. You know, I find it quite offensive for you, the Tamhu, the European, to talk about African spirituality. Now, while I agree with Jabari's overall premise that when Europeans have something negative to say about African spirituality, that is a huge problem. I totally agree with brother Jabari in that respect.
However, where we disagree is his verbiage, his terminology, because Jabari does not know 𝍘𝅀𝓛𝓱𝓱𝓀𝓚 enough to make these statements. Hence, why he continually, you know, does such a poor job when dealing with the 𝍘𝅀𝓛𝓱𝓱𝓀. You know, he continually does such a poor job when dealing with the 𝍘𝅀𝓛𝓱𝓱𝓀 simply because that's not his field. That's why you guys will notice that you always hear me saying that people are most powerful in their lane. And if everybody just stay in their lane, we'll be good, right? But the problems in our community arise because everybody's trying to be a jack of all trades. Nobody wants to be a master of anything. Everybody wants to know it all and do it all. How about master what you know? You're a Kemetic priest? God damn it. Read the 𝍘𝅓���📪 and read it better than anybody else. After all, you're a priest in the system. If you a Hebrew, read Hebrew and do it better than anybody else, because after all, the Bible says we are a nation of priests. All facts. Don't think I'm going to hold him to a standard that I don't think we should be held to. All facts. But here's the case, right? Here's the case. There's a lot of misinformation in the community, right? And people are continually allowed to get away with. So I'm going to take a crack at 𝍘🅪in this video, and I'm going to deal with his poor use of the term Tamhu as referring to Europeans. So here we go. I'm going to ask everybody to thumb up the video and share it live. I'm going to ask everybody to thumb up the video and share it live. We have almost 80 people in here, y'all. So I'm trying to figure out how, Sway. How is it we have less than 80 likes? How is that, Sway? So, family, let's get those likes up before we continue. Let's get those likes up before we continue, family. Some of you may have just came in and forgot to hit the button. So please, I ask and remind everybody, hit that like button so I can move on and give this presentation, guys. Hit that like button so I can move on and give this presentation, y'all. All right. Let's hit that like button, y'all. Let's get those likes up, family. Let's get those likes up. Where we at? I'm ready to start. I'm just waiting on you guys. There we go. We almost up there. I'm ready to start. I'm just waiting on you guys. So hit that like button, family, so we can start as soon as possible, y'all. Hit that like button so we can start as soon as possible, because if y'all know me, y'all know I got this presentation ready. If y'all know me, y'all know my presentation is ready. Let's get these likes up, family. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Nah, when the likes buttons go up, we gonna get it in. When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. Nah, fam, not on this live. When the like button get up, we gonna get it in. This is a reciprocal relationship, right? Right? We're sharing information and we supporting. The relationship is reciprocal, right? It's unfair for me to do all this work but not get a significant level of support. So I hope that that's fair to ask. So shout out to everybody who continually, does the right thing. Salute to you. And to everybody who might be new, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. All right. Hit that subscribe button or hit the like button. I'm not really interested in what vocab calls himself, whether he said in the past that he's Italian, German. To be honest, I really could care less about that. What I'm honing in right now is 𝍘🅪's incorrect use of the term Tamahu and his continual poor display of a language that he should have mastered certainly after 30 years in a tradition. Let's get those likes up, family. Let's get those likes up. All right, moderators, get on your P's and Q's because I'm about to get to this work. So y'all just make sure y'all checking the boards. Don't let nobody come on here acting crazy. They act up, they get smacked up. That's it. That's it. Straight like that. We're not playing on this side. We're not playing on this side. All right, here we go. So I entitled today's lecture, does the term Tamhu mean white or European? We're going to bust this out quick. Where does 𝍘🅪 get the idea that the term Tamhu means European? So, you know, if you guys know me and the way that I teach and study, you know, I always deal with what's called the origin story. You know, I always deal with what's called the origin story of things, right? So, in dealing with the origin story, you must know that the first person documented in history to refer to the Tamhu as being European is a European, interestingly enough. I'm going to say that again. The first person documented in history to refer to the European as the Egyptian term Tamahu, interestingly enough, is a European. His name is Champollion, Francois Champollion, who's also credited as being a co-conspirator, as it were, in the translation of the Meta-Netra or the hieroglyphs. Having said that, he's the first one to say this. He's followed by another European, Gerald Massey. If you've heard of Gerald Massey before, type a 1 in the chat room as I go real quick and pull out his book so you guys can see some of my cited sources. Okay. Gerald Massey wrote a book. Well, he wrote several books. He wrote a book called The Book of the Beginnings. He also wrote a book called Ancient Egypt, Light of the World. That's Ancient Egypt, Light of the World. It's a 2-volume book. The book that I have is 2 volumes in one, which is why it's so heavy and so big, right? It's called Ancient Egypt, Light of the World by Gerald Massey. Ancient Egypt, Light of the World by Gerald Massey. All right. This is the main book that really goes into it, especially in terms of Meta-Netra, right? Of the idea that the Tamhu is the European. It was in Gerald Massey's work. So the first thing I want you to know, interestingly enough, every time Jabari refers to the European as the Tamhu, and that being a very poor representation of Meta-Netra, interestingly enough, it's inspired by European scholarship. So Jabari, gotta ask you, guy, the hell are you doing? You accused Vocab Malone and Brother Adam of doing the Beavis and Butthead, but you relying on Beavis and Butthead for your scholarship. Champollion and Gerald Massey, the original Beavis and Buttheads. The hell are you doing, Jabari? Come on. Like that. Yo, y'all know that was funny as hell. Put some fire emojis in the chat room. Huh? You talking about Vocab Malone and Adam is Beavis and Butthead, but you relying on Beavis and Butthead for your scholarship, man. Jabari, with all due respect, my brother, the hell are you doing, man? The hell are you doing? The hell are you doing? You rely on European scholarship to give poor information. You routinely say that the poor way of looking at African spirituality is hugely attributed to European misinterpretation of African tradition, yet you rely on European tradition when it fits what you would like to style and create, such as calling the European the Tamhu. Jabari, you're a very interesting person. You are my brother, but you are a very interesting person, to say the least bit. Very interesting person. Let me move on. This is the book right here. You guys can see me holding it. Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, right? That's Ancient Egypt, Light of the World, right? 2 volumes in one. Heavy, heavy book, right? So, Brother Jabari, you say the Tamhu means European or white, huh? Let's examine that. There's something called the 4 Races of Man mural in the tomb of a New Kingdom Nisut, king or pharaoh, known as Seti the First or Seti the First. Who is Seti the First, family? Who is his son? Who was the son of 𝍘𓅓𓛛𓅱𓌙𓀀𓁐𝓪? Come on, let's see what we know about Kemet, y'all. I'm gonna give you this knowledge today, y'all. Y'all know if when I start a live, I might not do lives every day like a lot of people are doing, but that's because I'm old school. I don't talk unless I got something to say. Woo! I'm old school. I don't talk unless I got something to say. Not doing lives every day just to be up here blabbering on. Nah, when y'all see me go on, just know automatically he's going in. And if y'all know my track record, that's always the case. You see I'm live, you know I'm going in. I'm not coming up here to just babble. I don't have that much time, in my day-to-day life. There's a lot of things that I do. So I'm not coming up here to blabble and none of that. When you see me go live, I'm coming here to get it in. Simple. Having said that, there's something known as the 4 Races of Man mural in the tomb of 𝍘𝅓𓛛����𓌙📀📪. And here's the first thing I want you to know. 𝍘𝅓 is the father of Ramses I. 𝍘𝅓 is the father of Ramses I. In the 4 Races mural of man in the tomb of 𝍘𝅓, one thing I want you to know is that, once again, European Egyptologists got something wrong. Because this is not representative of the Egyptians trying to describe or say that humanity can be divided by 4 people, 4 sons, or 4 races of people. That's not what the ancient people of Kemet are doing here in the quote-unquote 4 Races of Man mural. Kemet is describing her nearest neighbors. That's it. It ain't that deep. She's describing the Nubians to the south, which are the extremely dark-skinned black people you see on the top row, second from left. She's describing the Tamhu in the far north, which are lighter-skinned, watch this, blacks in North Africa. She's describing herself, who she calls the Remech, and she's describing the peoples of the Levant and Mesopotamia, the Asiatics, who she calls the Amu. So she is describing the Nehisu, the Nubians in the south, the Cushites, the Ethiopians. She is describing the Tamahu, lighter-skinned black Africans in the north. She's describing herself, the Remech, the Egyptians. And she's also describing the Amu in the Levant, in the land of Canaan, as well as Mesopotamia, the Asiatics. This is not Kemet trying to say that we believe that all of the world comes from 4 people. That's not what they're saying here. Kemet is describing her most intimate neighbors here. It's also noteworthy to note that this scenery is an excerpt from what's called the Book of Gates. This is an excerpt from the Book of Gates. And where they're at right now is in the Amduat. That's the Kemetic heaven. Guys, let me tell y'all something. Don't think I've just been studying the language in Kemet in the last couple of years. I've been studying the culture, the language, the history, the anthropology, the archaeology, the linguistics. I've been going knee deep into ancient Kemetic studies, making sure that when I come out, I am fully immersed in what the Kemetic nation state represented and are. Fully immersed, all right? Fully immersed. So having said that, y'all, this scenery, known incorrectly as the 4 Races of Man mural, first of all, it's a scenery coming from the Book of Gates. The Book of Gates, which is one of the more esoteric novels or literature in ancient Kemet. And the scenery is in the Amduat, the netherworld or the underworld, the netherworld or the underworld, or i.e., guys, the afterlife. This is the Kemetic heaven. And notice, she's describing her intimate neighbors as coming into heaven. So Jabari, if this is really the Tamhu, like what you're saying, why the hell the ancient Egyptians are saying that white people is going to heaven? Woo! Damn, Jabari! You calling these guys Beavis and Butthead, but you using Beavis and Butthead scholarship, which is why you're making such a horrible, horrible mess right now. Because the ancient Egyptians are depicting her most intimate neighbors, and she's describing them in the Kemetic allegory of heaven. She sees in heaven herself, the people of Egypt. She sees in heaven the Nubians. She sees in heaven the Asiatics. And she sees in heaven the Tamhu. Damn, Jabari. What all the Tamhu has done to us, what all that you say they have done to us, if you really think the Tamhu is the European, then you got to hold this out because you're saying that they're in the Kemetic heaven with the people of Remech. Don DeMarco, y'all know I want to drop the bomb, right? Don DeMarco. Woo! Y'all know I want to drop the bomb, right? Don DeMarco. That's interesting, Brother Jabari. That's extremely interesting that you would make such a statement that the Tamhu are Europeans. Yet in the depiction, in the tomb of Seti I, and there are several other pharaohs, as you're about to see, that have this depiction. Don't think I just came with one source. You equate the European with the Tamhu, and in Egyptian literature, the vignettes, the visual pictorial art on the walls of Kemet, in the tomb of Seti, the Egyptians are in heaven, and they see in Asiatics. So guess what, conscious community? If the Asiatics are so wicked, they tearing up Egypt, everywhere they go, they a problem. How come in the tomb of Seti, the Egyptians depict Asiatics in the Egyptian heaven? I don't expect to find people in heaven that's murdering and raping my mother. Which means, guys, y'all got to stop lying. Oh, it's a new sheriff in town today, y'all. And his name is Zion Lexx. And I'm coming to set the record straight. Y'all going to have to tell the truth now. Because not only do I read Meta Nature, but goddamn it, I'm teaching it. Woo! Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco. So you mean to tell me Asiatics are so wicked, but the people of Kemet, when they die and go to heaven and they look around, isn't that Moses? Yo, light this chat room up, man. Light this chat room up. The Hebrews are wicked, right? The people in Kemet, they die and they go to the Amduat, they go to the Egyptian heaven and they open their eyes. That's Aaron? That's Miriam? Why is King David here? Let me tell y'all something, guys. Let me tell y'all something. It's a whole new sheriff in town. It's a whole new sheriff in town. And God gave me a badge. Yes, he did. And let me tell you, he told me to go in and go off. And guess what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and I'm going to go off. Y'all heard? I'm going to go in and I'm going to go off. There's a new sheriff in town, y'all. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to go off. All right, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go off, y'all, because this one slide, right? This little itty-bitty part of my presentation right here kills a lot of the nonsense that they're teaching the Kemetic community. They're telling you that you can't trust Asiatics. Asiatics are a bunch of stinking shepherds and sand dwellers. The Egyptians had to enslave them, beat them, brand them with hot irons, make them as chattel slaves, because they ain't sugar, honey, iced tea. What I'm saying, because they ain't shit. But when the Egyptian dies and wakes up in heaven, who does he see? Them same Asiatics. This is interesting. This is interesting. Because watch this, guys. It gets a little deeper. Don't you know that the Asiatic, the Nubian, and the Tamhu, I'm going to say it again. The Asiatic, the Nubian, and the Tamhu, according to the Amduat in the Book of Gates, it says that their soul is protected by the Egyptian goddess Sekhmet. It says that their soul is protected by the Egyptian goddess Sekhmet. So hold on. If Jabari is right, and all of the Kemetic conscious teachers are right, and the Asiatics are so bad, why is it that when the people in Kemet die and go to heaven, they see an Asiatics in heaven with them, enjoying heaven, under the protection of your gods? I find that extremely interesting. Let me move on, y'all, because if I stay here too long, people are going to start crying. You're going to start hearing Reggie come back and saying, oh, my God, they're calling the phones. Zion Lexx is a problem. Oh, my God, we're receiving so many phone calls this week. This priest is calling that priest. That leader is calling that leader. This grandmaster teacher is on the phone with that grandmaster teacher. Zion Lexx is an absolute problem. You goddamn right. It's a new sheriff in town, goddamn it. Woo! Family, let me tell you right now, show your support, show your love by donating to this platform, y'all. Because y'all know for a fact, you could go anywhere in the Israelite community. I don't care where you go. You're not getting this right here. That's no hate to nobody, but it's letting the truth be the goddamn truth. So when I ask you to support this platform, because the things that we are doing are uniquely different here, you know I'm not saying nothing crazy. Family, show your love. Hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal. Join our Patreon. Sign up for our Hebrew classes. Sign up for our Torah classes. Sign up for our Kabbalah classes, where we can really delve and go and dissect the text of the Torah. The next live that I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the capital punishments of ancient Egypt. Because I also heard Brother Jabari say in this video that when a virgin who's a daughter of a priest, when she goes and plays the harlot, she gets burned. And he says, oh my God, that's in your Bible. That's wicked. Look what your God does. Jabari, you ain't never heard the saying, look at the pot calling the kettle black? Bruh, let me just say this to y'all right now. I might go live tomorrow, but let me just say this right now, y'all. When I open up the ancient Egyptian literature and I show you the long list of capital punishments in Egypt and how grossly barbaric they are, especially in comparison to what's in the Bible, Jabari gonna look like he was learning from Beavis and Butthead. Jabari gonna look like he was learning from Beavis and Butthead. Let me tell y'all something. The last thing that they should have did was say, Zion, learn that 𝍘𝅓𓎛����, or else don't say nothing. That's the last thing they should have did. That's the last thing they should have did. Because if you know me, you know I will spend my last dime on buying books. Listen, this whole room that I'm in right now is flooded with books. I got books in the closet. If I go into the bedroom, there's books under the bed. I have books in bins. I have books here on my bookshelf. I have books on the table here. I have books out of your view here. Guys, if you know me, and people out there, some of y'all know me, I spend my last dime on books. I don't do what a lot of these other dudes is doing, PDF. And anytime y'all see me talk about something, y'all always see me pull up the book and hold it out. Always. I'm old school like that. I'm different like that. I know it's new age and, we got PDFs now, but I'm old school, man. I like the way a book sounds when you crack it open. I like the way a book smells. You know, that's a whole different level of being deeply intellectual. I like to hear a book crack open for the first time. People who are really geeked out about books and learning, you can relate to what I'm saying. You can relate to what I'm saying. So having said that, guys, I could go in right now on this mural, and I do plan to come back to it, but I don't want to spend too much time in this live on it because there's more that I have to cover. So let's look up sources. In a book entitled The Eastern Libyans, written by Ulrich Bates, this is the definition of Tamhu. I want everybody to see. Tamhu. The Tamhu appear to have been a more clearly defined branch of the 𝍘𓅓����𓀀𓁐📪, that they were themselves made up of more than one tribe is clear from the extent of their territories. That the Tamahu appeared to the Egyptians to have been a well-defined group is shown by their being listed with such ethnic groups as the 𝍘𝅓𝓛𓅱𓌙𓀀𓁐📪, Mazozi, Yam, Wawat, and even Ka'u Negroes of the South. What they're talking about is Nubians. There are times in ancient Kemetic literature where the Tamhu is even associated with Nubians. In fact, if you get a visual on the Tamhu, guys, you will see that they're wearing the ostrich feather on their head. That feather is associated with who? Nubia. And it's also associated with the goddess Ma'at. The Tamhus wear two of them. The first one represents authority, and the other one simply represents their tribal designation. Their tribal designation. They are also sometimes depicted as a people of the bow, meaning that that's their weapon. Nubians are notoriously depicted as being the people of the bow. In fact, one of the names to describe a Nubian, aside or apart from Kush or Nehisu, is to say Ta-Seti. Ta-Seti, Ta, land, Seti, bow, the land of the bow. All right. All right. Here we go. So the Tamhu is not even a name that's representative of the entire region where these people come from. The Tamhu represents one particular tribal group amidst a much larger tribal group in Northwest Africa. That larger tribal group is known as 𝍘𝅅��📪, of which the Tamahu are in the south close to Nubia. I'm about to show you guys on the map. This is how you do real scholarship. You don't just look at vocab alone, and because you can't figure out how to disagree with him, you run to call him a Tamhu. And then when that doesn't work, you call him and the black brother Beavis and Butthead, even though last time I checked, both of those were Tamhus, Jabari. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right? I'm going to show you how to map in a couple of moments where you're going to see all of these ethnic groups in Northwest Africa. And I'm going to show you where the Tamhu reside. They don't even reside in an area that is close to the Nile Delta, which would be closer to where Europeans had their first contact in Kemet. In fact, the Tamhu border the Nubians. That's why I said to you earlier that they're usually depicted as being very closely related to the Nubians. But this is something that they don't like to talk about. But guess who's going to bring it out today? But guess who's going to talk about it right now? My teacher used to say R-A-T-T, right now. Now watch this. This is a pictorial depiction from the 18th dynasty showing a Libyan, i.e. a Tamhu, a Canaanite, and a Nubian bowing to Pharaoh. But I want you guys to pay attention, and I want you to notice they're all black and brown. So Jabari, when you say the Tamhu means white people, what about here, buddy? Uh-oh. What about here, buddy? Uh-oh. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to this thing called Medu Neter, I do this for real, y'all. Hold on.
All right. All right, y'all. All right. All right, here we go.
What I'm about to hold up and display for you guys is my some of my Medu Neter dictionaries, right? Of which, I got a couple of them. Let's just say I got a couple of them. I got Wallace Budge's Medu Neter dictionaries. This is an Egyptian Hieroglyphic Dictionary, Volume 1 by E.A. Wallace Budge. I also have Volume 2, an Egyptian Hieroglyphic Dictionary, Volume 2 by E.A. Wallace Budge. Right? I got both. Right? I also have First Steps in Egyptian Hieroglyphs by E.A. Wallace Budge, which is a compendium of Egyptian literature, mainly from the Middle Kingdom to New Kingdom period, as well as a hieroglyphic dictionary. I also have, by Wallace Budge, a hieroglyphic dictionary to the 𝍘𓅓𓛛𓅱𓌙𓀀𓁐𓏪, which is the book for the coming forth into the light, misnomer the Book of the Dead. That's this right here. I also have, by Bill Petty, PhD, a hieroglyphic dictionary of Middle Egyptian vocabulary. A hieroglyphic dictionary of Middle Egyptian vocabulary. All right? Middle Egyptian vocabulary. What else do I have here? I also have, I'm citing sources so you guys could know, when I comment on Medu Neter, it's authoritative. I've been studying it for 5 years now. I've just been audible about it for the last 2 years now. But I've been studying it for 5 years now, ever since Kemet on Trial, which is the first time they told me, if you don't know Medu Neter, shut up. I was like, nah, you're right. When you tell a wise man something, he don't get offended. He changes. When you tell a wise man something right about something that he may or may not be doing wrong, he doesn't get offended. He changes. So when y'all challenged me to learn the Medu Neter, I went out and put my hands on every single hieroglyphic dictionary and literature I could find. Here is by James P. Allen, Ancient Egyptian Phonology. This book actually just came out this year. So I'm also up to date with the information. What else I got here? A Concise Dictionary of Middle Egyptian by Raymond Faulkner. A Concise Dictionary of Middle Egyptian or Classical Egyptian Language by Raymond Faulkner. If you guys don't know any of these names, just know this much. These are the people who are considered authoritative when it comes to the language. James P. Allen, Raymond Faulkner. All right. Just giving you guys enough to check my temperature to know that I'm qualified to speak on these things. So having said that, going back to the presentation, I actually got more here, but I don't think anybody's interested in me showing everything I have. Y'all want to see everything I have? Y'all want to see all my hieroglyphic dictionaries? Y'all want to see everything I have? We're going to be here all day if I do that, I guess. So let me move on. Looking at the picture, you can see to the far left a Tamhu. And he don't look nothing like no damn European. In fact, he's black or brown. So the people who are described as Tamhu, number one, Tamhu does not mean white. You can go into any of the Medu Neter dictionaries, right? You can go into any of the Medu Neter dictionaries, and you can see that the term Tamhu is related to a word in the Medu Neter that means red. Somebody tell me what the Bible called King David. Uh-oh. Somebody tell me what the Bible called King David. Put it in the chat room. Uh-oh. Somebody tell me. Family, thumb up the video and share the live, family. Thumb up the video and share the live. Shout out to 𝍘𓅪𓎛𓅱𓌙𓀀𓁐🪏 for your donation. And shout out to my brother 𝍘𝅓𓎛𓅱𓌙𓀀𓁐🪏 for your donation. Thank you very much. Family, if you can, please thumb up the video and share the live. Because y'all know when I come in, I don't come in to play. I come in to give that work. The Bible says that David was red or ruddy. The word used is Edom, the Hebrew word for red. All of us know that that didn't mean that David was a white boy. It meant that David is light-skinned. Damn, guys. Common sense. Then Israelites got a bigger problem, though, because that same word is used to describe Esau. So that means even Esau was a light-skinned black man. He was not a white boy. Even we got to do some learning, too, to keep it all the way real. I'm from the Caribbean, right? Both of my parents were born in the Caribbean and raised in the Caribbean. I have friends that are from America. Most of them have roots deeply in the South. And guess what we got in common? And I even say it. In the Caribbean, when we describe somebody as being light-skinned, like a light-skinned black person, like a Beyonce or like a Jay-Z or Pharrell type complexion, we say red-skin. Look at that red-skinned girl or that red-skinned boy. What do black Americans do? A black American might look at a girl like Nicki Minaj or look at a girl like a Beyonce and be like, damn, Ak, that's a fine red bone right there. Are we saying she's white when we say red bone? No. In the Caribbean, when we say that girl is red skinned, we saying she's white? No. Jabari, even you have roots in the Caribbean. Brother Jabari says that one of his parents come from Guyana. I believe he said it's his mom. And shout out to his mom. Shout out to Brother Jabari's mom. My mother also comes from Guyana, a Caribbean country in South America, right? Actually, the only English-speaking Caribbean country in South America at the very top, right? Right next door to Venezuela and right above Brazil. Having said that, Jabari even knows that where his mom is from, which is where my mom is from, a light-skinned black person is called a red bone or red skin. So Jabari, the term Tamhu does not mean European, definitely, because number one, the term European is a modern designation. So I think we can just say common sense, it didn't mean that. And I think obviously even Jabari knows that. But what he's really trying to say is what he also says, it means white people, and that's where he's wrong. Because Jabari, if you actually took the time to learn the language in the culture you've been studying the last 30 years, that I've been studying the last 5 years, you would know that the term Tamhu is not related to the term for white in the Middle Nature. It's related to the term for red. And that is what they're calling the peoples in North Africa, light-skinned black people. To this day, that is the look of North Africa, light-skinned black people, all facts. What the hell are we even talking about here? We know that black is beautiful and it comes in all shades. You know, in the conscious community, we act like, and I'm a deeply dark-skinned person, but we act like only deep sea black, purple black, that's why I say deep sea, is the beautiful color. So what? My children who are lighter in complexion are not beautiful? Some of y'all brothers and sisters who are lighter in complexion, y'all not handsome, y'all not beautiful? Come on, we crazy out here. Jabari, you light-skinned. When they refer to Tamahu as being red, that designation could fit you too. So you sound crazy. God damn. This is easy work, y'all. Easy work. Easy work. Shout out to everybody supporting the platform. Shout out to 𝍘𝅓𝓛����𓌙𓀀𓁐🪏. I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm going to spell it 𝍘𝅓𝓛����📾. Shout out to you for your donation. Here we go. This picture depicts a Libyan, i.e. a Tamhu, a Canaanite, and a Nubian, and a Syrian, and all of them are black to reddish brown. Nobody here is white. The Canaanite here ain't white. And y'all love to say that Canaanites is perfectly white, even though there's some truth to that, because there was a lot of leprosy in Canaan. All facts. A lot of albinoism in Canaan. All facts. But that don't mean everybody in Canaan was an albino or a leper in their skin. Remember what the Bible says. Canaan is the son of who? Ham. Ham is the progenitor of who? African peoples. So what would Canaan look like? His African brothers. God damn. God damn. Easy work. Easy work. Watch this, y'all. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. As you guys heard me read earlier, it says, and I'll read it again, the Tamhu appear to have been a more clearly defined branch of the 𝍘𓅓����𓀀𓁐📪. So the Tamhu is not a designation of all of Northwest Africa or all of Libya. The Tamhu represent one branch of people who have roots in Northwest Africa, but they also extend as far as Nubia, as you're about to see. Let me show you the names of some of these groups. I'll try to blow the screen up as much as possible. Give me a second, y'all. I want y'all to be able to read with me. So I'm going to change the settings so that y'all can see more of the screen and less of me. I'm going to change the settings so y'all can see more of the screen and less of me. All right, that should be better. And then now, let me blow this up nice and big. All right, because I want you guys to be able to read this. Makes no sense to have all this wonderful information and you guys can't read it with me. Right? That's what scholarship is about, showing your work. So I hope you guys can see it. All right. If that's not big enough, guys, just, I guess, work with me. But from my screen, it looks like it's big enough. From my screen, it looks like it's big enough, meaning it's big enough for you to follow along and read with me. All right. So watch this. The term 𝍘𝅅����📀 is the real term that designates all of these tribes. The Tamhu are a group. The Libu, the Libyans, are a group. The Meshu or the Mewesh are also a group, but they're all groups of a larger tribe known as the 𝍘𝅅𝓛𝓅. Listen to this. Both the ethnic and geographical names were employed by the Egyptians until the time of the great invasions in a very loose manner to designate the people and the habitable countries to the west of the Nile Valley. Therefore, the 𝍘𝅅𝓛𝓅 are mentioned in a general way together with other foreign nations. They're mentioned with Nubians and Asiatics. They appear as the typical people of the West, and the extent of their territories and their number of their divisions are attested by the frequency of the phrases such as the countries of the 𝍘𝅅𝓛𝓅 or the chiefs of the 𝍘𝅅𝓛𝓅, something you find replete throughout Kemetic literature, especially from the Middle Kingdom period onward, even though it can be found in the Old Kingdom period as well. Then we have the Tamhu, which is a subgroup, a smaller tribe of people in that general region. The Tamhu don't even inhabit Northwest Africa. The Tamhu inhabit right adjacent to Nubia, as you're about to see on the map. But let me read. The Tamhu appear to have been a more, well, I just read that part. Let me read the Libu. The Libu, or the Libyans, this group seated in the north comprised a number of tribes, just as in classical times. This is borne out by the fact that the Libu were so extensive a people that their importance led the Greeks into bestowing the generic term Libyans upon the indigenous North Africans as a whole. So after a while, because of the status of the Libyans, because they became to be so great at one time in North Africa, the Greeks referred to everyone in North Africa after a while as being Libyan, which is the ancient Egyptian term Libu. Libu. Here we go. The Egyptian records, moreover, speak of the Lebu as a powerful people at the time of the invasions. Now, there's another group, a last group called the Meshwesh, and they were a great and powerful group as well. And these three groups comprise the Chehenu peoples or the Chehenu tribes, of which the Tamhu was one subgroup under. How come Jabari ain't giving y'all all this information, but yet y'all know him as a Kemetic priest? I'm trying to figure out how that works, Sway. How come Jabari don't give you all this information, even though people are calling him a Kemetic priest? I'm trying to figure out how does that work, Sway. Somebody talk to me. Here we go. Now let's go to the dictionary. We're in the Egyptian hieroglyphic dictionary, and let's see what the term Tamhu means. Let's see if it means created white people or white people at all. Let's see. Okay. Tamhe or Tami is a kind of precious stone or earth, a kind of ochre. That's interesting. If I would have showed you the rest of the dictionary, you would have saw that the term Tamhu is related to the term for red. In fact, let's do some linguistics really quick. I want to ask the chat room a question. Let me check y'all temperature real quick. What letter in the English alphabet is interchangeable with the letter T as it pertains to linguistics? I'm going to say it again. I'm checking you guys' temperature now. What letter in the English alphabet is interchangeable with the letter T? What letter makes a similar sound in the English alphabet? Everybody type that in the chat room. I'm checking y'all temperature on this one. We're going to show that our community is highly intelligent as well. So I'm checking y'all temperature on this one. What letter on the English alphabet, in the English alphabet, has a very similar sound to T, making it linguistically relatable? Somebody tell me. If you study languages and linguistics, this is easy as hell. That's right. The answer is D. D, as in David. The letters D and T are interchangeable linguistically speaking. The letters D and T are interchangeable linguistically speaking. So watch me prove my point. The term Tamhu is related to the term for red in the Medu Neter. Literally. There are more than one term for red in the Medu Neter. There's a term called Desher. Listen to me carefully. D-E-S-H-E-R. Desher. And they refer to Lower Egypt, which is the Nile Delta. That's called the Deshret. That's called the Deshret. Sometimes that can refer to the red crown of Lower Egypt that the pharaoh wears or the king wears, or it can refer to the red land, a reference to the sandy area. Now watch this. Who in here knows a little bit about an organization known as the Bloods? What do Bloods call themselves? And how many of y'all knew that the word is Hebrew in origin? Now, I'm not going to go into my history and who I know and where I've been and blah, 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 right? But just know I hung with a crew that rocked the Star of David. We're going to say that. Some of y'all probably already could figure out what I'm saying. And then there was another crew that called themselves Bloods. But they didn't always say Bloods. They say, yo, that's my Damu. Because Damu is how you say blood in Hebrew. Uh-oh! Damu is how you say blood in Hebrew. So guess what you guys should know? Medu Neter is classified as an Afro-Asiatic language. And it has many relatable words, terms, and even parts of its grammar is in sync with other Asiatic languages. So just like the term in Hebrew, Damu, means red and blood, so does Tamhu refer to red, because the term for white in the Medu Neter is Hedjet or hedge. Hedjet, as in the white crown of Upper Egypt. as in the white crown of Upper Egypt. That's called the Hedjet, coming from the Medo-Neter term hedge, which means white. But Damhu means red in Hebrew, and Tamhu also means red in the Egyptian language. I hope you guys realize that you're getting a whole lot of knowledge right now. Whole lot of knowledge right now. While it might look easy, it ain't easy at all. While it might look easy, it's not easy at all. This comes from a lot of proficiency, a lot of years of studying. The term Tamhu is absolutely related to the term Damhu, Damu in Hebrew. Damu is how we say blood, and Dam is how you say blood in Hebrew as well. In fact, one of the ways of interpreting the name of the first man that the Bible speaks of, Adam, is one blood. Adam, Aleph, one, Dam, blood. Some of you probably have heard this before. Adam. All right. I hope you guys appreciate this, because this ain't easy. While I might make it look easy, trust me when I tell you, it comes from a lot of years of studying. And the brother just said, Damu is how you say blood in Swahili. And the brother just said, Damu is how you say blood in Swahili. That's right, Millie. You got to learn Hebrew to understand the simplicity of the complexity of language. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hebrew is so crucial when it comes to studying all of these ancient languages. In fact, guys, when you read the opening page of Wallace Budge's Egyptian Hieroglyphic Dictionary, Volume 1, he literally tells you that Hebrew was used in part to decipher the hieroglyphs. Are y'all hearing me? He cites Massapero, which is a huge source, as well as someone called Simeon Levy. He cites Simeon Levy and Massapero, two heavy authoritative sources when it comes to the hieroglyphs or the Medo-Neter, to show and prove that Hebrew was used in part to decipher the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs known as Medo-Neter. So guys, learning Hebrew is absolutely imperative to study in these ancient cultures. Trust me when I tell you, as I'm making this look easy, as I'm showing you the cross references and making this look easy. The Tamhu ain't some white guy. The term is related to red. They're describing lighter skinned black Africans. The Tamhu lives in Africa. You sound crazy calling him European. He lives in Northwest Africa. He's not European. And I'm about to show you how long he's been in West Africa. In Africa. Let me tell y'all guys, I don't go live every day, as some of y'all might want me to, and I'm trying my best to get there. But I'm old school. I don't talk unless I got something to say. But just know that I've been studying this topic for a while, this particular topic, the Tamhu. So I don't just, I didn't just watch this video and decide that I'm going to talk about the Tamhu. No, I've been studying it already for many years already. So by the time I'm ready to present information on it, I can go all the way in. So watch this. Getting back to the term Tamhu, let's do this really quick. This is the term Tamhu right here, guys. And look, right below it, to prove my point, right below the term Tamhu is the name of the goddess of the Red Land. And she's called Tamhit. She's called Temit. Why? Because the term Tem is descriptive of the color red. That's the Tem in Tamhu. It means red. And the name Temit is descriptive of the Nile Delta, otherwise known as the Desher or the Deshret, the Red Land. Notice how she's called the goddess of the Red Land, and her name begins with that root Tem. Guys, put some fire emojis in the room, because if a Kemetic priest can't do this, but you got an Israelite doing this, we got to put some respect on that. Don DeMarco, Don DeMarco. Easy work. Easy work when you're well studied. That's why I say, guys, sign up for these classes. Y'all see that red strip at the bottom of my screen? It gives you everything you need to know to sign up for all of my classes. This work is not easy. I spend hours, even at this level of proficiency, I spend hours every day learning, studying. It took years to get to this level, but I will tell you, I can show you how to get to this level, and I want to pass the baton, and I want you to pass me. I want you to go further, and I want you to bring back some knowledge that even I can learn from, because that's the point of it all. Your teacher's supposed to share everything that they know. You add what you know, and then you take all of that information and go way further than where your teacher ever stood. That's the point of it all. If not, what the hell are we doing? All right. So I'm stating my case. If I'm stating my case very well, type a 1 in the chat room, and I want you to put a fire emoji next to that 1. Put some fire emojis and put some 1s in the chat room. If so far I am stating the case and I'm doing it very well. If I'm stating the case and I'm doing it very well, put some 1s and some fire emojis in the chat room, family. We're not here to hijack nobody and misrepresent anybody's words. We're just here to speak the truth. We're not here to hijack nobody or misrepresent anybody's words. We are simply here to speak the truth. That's it. Maa-keru. Ma-keru. True of voice. When a deceased is judged, he is declared Maa-keru or Ma-keru. True of voice. I'm just here to speak the truth. That's it. Right, here we go. Now, I refer you to Exhibit C. Look at the map. I want everybody to pay close attention and look at the map. Jabari says that the European is the Tamhu. I want everybody to look and notice. Let me blow up the map a little bit. I want everybody to look and notice that at the far north of Northwest Africa is where you find a group called the Libu. Then you have the Chehenu, which is the larger tribe that they all descend from. And then I want you to look at the Nile Delta, which is in blue. That's the Nile Delta going up in the shape of an upside down triangle. The Greeks call it the Delta because that's their symbol for the letter D. And the letter D in the Greek alphabet looks like a triangle. So look at the Nile Delta and look at the Chehenu. They're right adjacent to the Nile Delta, right? But the Tamhu group is not at the far north. So where are the Tamhu group? Let me scroll down. I want everybody to notice how far down the Nile you find the Tamhu. I want everybody to notice how far down the Nile you will find the Tamhu. He is not deep up in the north. Jabari, you're dropping the ball. You're dropping the ball big time. Big time. Look at where you find the Tamhu. Look at the Nile River. Guys, this line, how long you see it, I'm sure you know in real terms, it's miles longer than that short line you're looking at. So look where you find the term Tamhu. Look where you find the people Tamhu. Look how far down the Nile they are. They are parallel to the Nubians. Hence why you heard me say earlier that they're usually depicted amid or amongst Nubians. You find the Tamhu with the feather of Ma'at coming out of their headdress. And the second feather is designating their status as rulers or chiefs. The main thing that differentiates them from Nubians is their light skin complexion. But that means that they're not African. So hold on, y'all. So you're not African if you're not light skinned? So Jay-Z not African. Beyonce, she ain't African. Come on, y'all, help me out. Let's go through the list. My children, they not African. Come on, y'all. All these people not African? Talk to me. Because you light skinned, you not African? Damn, we got to do a lot of studying in the so-called conscious community, boy. Again, this map shows you just how far down the Nile River the Tamhu are. They are adjacent to the people of Kush. They are adjacent to the Nehisu, the Nubians. This is easy work, y'all. Easy work. Thumb up the video and share it live, family. Thumb up the video and share it live. There's no way with all this information we should just have 94 likes in here. There's no way with all this information we should just have 94 likes in here. So those of you who just joined in, I'm going to ask you to thumb up the video and share the live. Thumb up the video and share the live. And to those who haven't donated yet, family, hit that donation button. Because this information right here, if you ain't seen nobody bring it out yet, then you should definitely show your Hebrew brother love. Uh-oh. The next slide I'm about to show you guys, I'm going to show you just how long the Tamhu been around. Because here's another issue that Jabari doesn't realize when he begins to call the Tamhu the European. Because if the Tamhu is the European, Jabari, that's highly problematic. Because what we know about Europeans is they don't have no cultural contribution to civilization before 1000 BC. They don't have any major interactions before 1000 BC. But the Tamhu are cited all over Kemet long before 1000 BC. So Jabari, in order for you to be right, you got to reshape and remold history. Damn. In the words of the children of this era, you doing too much. You team too much right now. You got to reinvent history to make the Tamhu European. Europeans have no contribution to civilization before 1000 BC. Jabari, even you know that. And you also know the Tamhu are spoken of way before 1000 BC. So Jabari, are you also trying to make the Tamhus earlier in civilization, even before other black nation states? What are you doing, bro? Team too much. You doing too much. I'm about to show you how far back the Tamhu are mentioned. In fact, Jabari really not going to like this one. A lot of people in the conscious community really not going to like Zion Lexx bringing this one out. But family, what if I told you that the greater designation of the Tamhu, which is the Chehenu, the group from which you saw at the very top is where the Tamhu come from? What if I was to show you that name in Kemet even before you have the name Kemet? Woo! What if I was to show you the group from which the Tamhu come from, the group on the screen? Let me blow it up again so you guys can see it. Everybody can see it? I want to make sure everybody can see the Chehenu. T-H-E-N-U, and that's pronounced Chehenu. Can everybody see that? Remember we read earlier, that is the larger tribe from which the Libu, the Libyans, and the Tamhu descend from. They all descend from the Chehenu. Now watch this. Put some ones in the room if y'all heard me say that earlier. If you just entered, I know you didn't hear it, but I'm speaking to those who were here already. Come on, family, participate. Thumb up the video, share the live, throw some ones in the chat room if you already heard me show you that the 𝍘𓅦 is the greater tribe from which the Libyans come from and the Tamhu. So watch this. Jabari, you in big trouble, buddy. Because if the Tamhu is European, guess what you saying? You saying Europeans was here even before the name Kemet. That's what you're saying. So I'm actually helping you out. You're going to watch this video and be a little bit in your feelings, just a little bit, because I didn't make it personal, and take any personal jabs at you and, talk about you personally. I'm talking about your scholarship. That's it. So you're going to be a little bit in your feelings because I'm showing that you're employing very, very poor method of scholarship when you continually refer to white people as the Tamhu. You're going to be in your feelings about that. But when you calm down, you're going to realize that I'm helping you. And guess what? Even I had to realize that. There were people that have been critiquing my work for years. My work is not perfect. There were certain parts of my work that weren't perfectly stated. But instead of getting in my feelings about it, I listened to those people and I watched and I perfected it. I made the necessary adjustments and came back stronger. And that's what we're supposed to do. You don't get offended. You don't get in your feelings. You listen. Is what they're saying right? And if it's right, there's only one choice. You better change. I made the necessary adjustments, changed, and now I'm even greater. So thank you to everybody that criticizes me, because your critique helps to make me a beast in what I do, because I don't get in my feelings about your critique. In fact, most of y'all don't even respond to. And you know why? Because either A, you don't deserve a response, or B, I might agree with you, and I'm learning, and I'm changing. And what's wrong with that? So, Brother Jabari, you might be in your feelings a little bit right now, or later when you watch this, but in the end matter, I'm actually helping you. Because for you to say the Tamhu is the European, you're placing them on the world scene before you even have the name Kemet. And watch me go to work and prove that. We have something called the Narmer seal. We have something called the Narmer seal, which is a seal showing you Narmer depicted as a catfish holding the mace and smiting who? The 𝍘𓅦, the people from which the Tamhu come from. And let me blow it up so you can see that this is their name right here in the Medu Neter, in the hieroglyphs. Everyone knows that Narmer's name is spelled in the hieroglyphs with a catfish and a chisel. So the catfish that you see holding the stick, that's Narmer. Right below Narmer lists the name of the people that Narmer is dominating and defeating in order to unite ancient Kemet. And the people he lists are the 𝍘𓅦, the people from whom the Tamhu come from. Now watch what's problematic about that for you, Jabari. This is pre-dynastic Egypt. This is 3100 BC. The term Kemet is not here at all. We don't find the term Kemet used to describe the people of Egypt or the land of Egypt before the beginning of the Middle Kingdom period. That's about 2000 BC. But in 3100 BC, we have a people called the 𝍘𓅦, the parent tribe from which the Tamhu come from. So when you say that the Tamhu are the Europeans, you're making them even older than the people of Kemet. And I just threw you a hally hoop. I hope you catch it, correct your work, and be able to slam dunk. And with that being said, y'all, I'm going to end there. No overkill. I proved my point. The Tamhu is not the European at all. The Tamhu refers to the color red and is descriptive of lighter skinned black Africans. Europeans aren't even on the world scene yet when we start talking about the Tamhu. And watch this, guys, because Jabari didn't tell you guys. How many of y'all knew that the same Tamhu he calls European, they're on the throne before the Kushite dynasty, dynasty 25. They're on the throne between the 22nd and 23rd dynasties. Those are the Libyan tribes, or i.e., the Tamhu, ruling on the throne of Kemet, long before true Europeans come into Egypt. You know, the Greeks, the Romans. Jabari, respectfully, I say to you, what the hell are you doing? With that being said, family, I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. Y'all know every time you see your brother Zion Lexx go live, I'm coming in to get it in. Family, please continue to donate and support this platform. This platform is for us, by us. For us, by us. I will represent our culture and our heritage on this platform to the fullest. When we have issues in the community of scholarship, people attacking the community, y'all know for a fact that you could count on this Israelite brother, amid many others, to come and defend this community. As you guys can see, this is the info to join our Torah classes, our Hebrew classes, and become a member of our Patreon. My last words to you guys is support the platform, family, as much as you can, especially this month, next month, and for the remaining of the summer, because we're trying to make the Hebrew classes free for all children of all ages. Anybody under the age of 18, up to the age of 7 and 8. From the age of 7 all the way up to 18, and I might slip a couple 6-year-olds in there if the parents remain in the class, because in my past experience, when you have 5 and 6-year-olds in the class, y'all know what 5 and 6-year-olds want to do. They ain't trying to learn. So the parents leave them in the class and they're not listening, they're not paying attention. So if you're going to bring a child that young, you can, but make sure you're there. But nonetheless, children from 7 to 17, we're trying to make them absolutely free. Family, you can help us do that by supporting to this platform. Hit that Cash App, family. Hit that PayPal so we can make the announcement that our Hebrew class is free for children 7 through 17 for the whole summer. With that being said, guys, salute to you. One love. Thank you to everybody that donated. To those of you who haven't, we ask that you do. And shout out to you. Peace and shalom.